All right, you guys see Jin take up on his magic broom to Landro's shoulders. You guys pretty much all have wings, except Lilith, I guess, huh?
I mean, I can turn into a swarm of bats.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, you guys could all fly. No need to make climbing checks. I guess you'd have to transform Mercy, but you could climb.
Well,
You
Oh,
could. You could.
wait.
What?
if you want Mercy, I can just carry you.
Can you carry Fangs? Is Fangs too heavy
I,
for you?
I can
I
try.
don't think Lepus can carry Mercy.
No, he can't. He's
um,
not strong.
there are little.
Mercy will carry Fangs.
There are little handholds. It's not a terrible climbing check. DC 12
Wait,
athletics.
Lilith has spider climb. Lilith can just climb up
Yeah.
there.
But Jin has ascended 50 feet. Jin, are you doing anything up there while the others are deciding how they're gonna follow?
I'll go ahead and ritual cast detect magic just to once over the room.
Hmm.
Can
Yes.
I carry Fangs if I use my wings?
Yeah, you can.
I'll do that.
The table itself, Jin, is magic. The big stone table.
Yeah, that would be. That's not very portable, unfortunately. Much as I would like a table. Instead,
Step
yeah, he'll
in the
gather
bag
all
of holding.
that table's probably much bigger than the bag of holding can carry, right?
It
It'll fit.
is quite large. Yeah, massive stone table. I'd say it's probably 5, 10, 10 feet 10 feet across.
That's
Either
easily
way.
a cup. That's easily 1,500 pounds.
Yes,
Easily.
very large.
He'll take just a quick glance at the scrolls and maps strewn about, and then probably burn them all.
Okay. As soon as you start to sort of disturb the table's contents, you can see that like some of the vellum parchments, the maps depict regions of Seer that bear no resemblance to its current topography, but are probably valuable in their own right. But as soon as you start to disturb the contents of the table reveals its true nature, and it begins to transform like Megatron into
Oh
a
dear.
massive guardian. Why don't you all select your tokens and roll initiative?
Oh, that's good, Ryan. That's really good.
Hey, sometimes it's the dungeon master's machinations, and sometimes it's the module's machinations. This is a module machination right here. So, Lepus in the pool of dragon shards, dungeon master machination.
Yeah.
No, that was
Big
pure
golem,
Lepus.
big
That
golem
was,
transformed
yeah.
to the table. Clearly, the module.
Yeah, well, there was some other things in here that I just took out entirely because it's just like sometimes I don't like it when they throw stuff in that just doesn't make any sense, you know? Like, why is this here? But the ghosts and stuff, they're all just haunted spirits of the Mornlands. Let's see, we got everybody? All right. Jin.
Can I make a history or arcana check to determine the deactivation command to this particular security protocol?
Yeah, why not? Make an arcana check.
Never when it matters.
You know, it is most likely this object and much like everything else in Landro, is a machination of Agatha's mind, and much like you and all of the scientists responsible for much of the weaponry created in the Mournlands, everyone was quite secretive with their personal projects, and you can't quite gather what might deactivate this protective element of the construct.
Yep. I have a great respect for my colleague. Capacity and creativity, so I will take the disengage action and fly away.
All right.
Wisely ascending to the next level, and I will warn my companions below. There is a security protocol active in the room I've just left. Best leave it alone.
All right. As you ascend to the next level, fleeing the guardian of the war room below, you fly up through the throat of Landro. You pass through another section of about 20 feet of more cylinder, and you come into contact with a tangle of metal dangling mechanical tubes and such, and you kind of squeeze past them up to the head of Landro. And as you pass into an open area, you see sorry, this little top section can be a little confusing. You see kind of another big open platform, and you feel like you're probably in the jaw. As soon as you appear, floating up on your flying broom and making your way past the cables, 3 serrated bolts come flying in your direction.
You have a +3.
A 17, 17, and a 20.
Miss, and miss. And since I'm being attacked, I will use my bonus action to Blade Thong.
All right. As you arrive at this next landing, you see the Warforged, known as Glaive, and 2 of their lackeys laying in wait. I guess we can just keep this initiative order, and I'll add these 3. And Mercy, you're up. Jin is now 100 feet up.
Yep, she will follow, because as a bonus action, I can dash to get up there with him.
All right. You spread your wings. Do you bring fangs with you?
Yep.
All right. You snatch fangs, and 2 of you ascend to Jin's level, 100 feet up through the cables, and you see the Warforged known as Glaive and 2 of her companions lying in wait.
Okay, well, I still have a bit of movement left, and since I'm transformed, my blade is glowy.
All right. Fangs, which I guess is Maggie. Right?
Yeah, Maggie's just gonna
Wait, can I
go up
attack?
there with them.
You dashed, right?
Yeah, but that's a bonus action for me.
Yeah, go for it.
And I can attack all 3 with each attack action.
All right.
So first will be Glaive, and then the other 2 left to right.
So you guys, the two of you that are up in this room, you can see like what were once the mechanical guts of what must have been a magical cannon have been torn from this platform in this room. And to the south, you can see a 3-foot tall ledge is all that separates this chamber from the open air of the Mournlands. If it were not for the dense mist of the Mournlands, this window here would afford a spectacular view. So you guys can actually like smell the open air here up in this part of the head. This platform here is just open to the air. Let's see. Crit's gonna do it. 21 and 20 also both hit.
Okay, the crit was on Glaive.
Okay.
And that does take the force.
8 for the crit.
Do you want me to roll for the crit again?
What do you mean?
I don't know if it rolled the extra damage for the crit.
It did.
Okay.
And then those are the other two attacks. So
Yep.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1 and 18 on the other guy. Glaive says, Overseer, the Lord of Blades is going to reward me handsomely for bringing him your heart.
I have another attack too.
Go for it.
Well, he'll be waiting just a bit longer. Do you have any next of kin that I can give your docents to? Not a taunt. He says that in dead seriousness.
Yeah.
Do all of those hit?
They do. Glaive says, if you're lucky enough to bring me down, my companions will find me a new body.
As you will.
That's 17 for Glaive and the first one to the left, and then 19 for the one to my right.
17. Shit. 17, 19. Is that it, Mercy?
Yes.
Right. Maggie.
Okay, yeah. Maggie's just gonna pester Glaive.
So Maggie, how far can Maggie move on a?
Oh, I guess she can only get to here, because I think she can get 100 with dash.
Okay. Maggie dashes. Lep.
Lep is going to fly up 30 feet, and then he'll fly up 35 feet. He'll bonus action phase step to get up to 50 feet. Because that like stone guardian is still there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like let's maybe try and deal with that. So he's gonna go up to where he can see line of sight,
On
and he's
the
gonna
Stone Guardian.
Yeah,
Okay.
and he's gonna using his dragon mark, he's gonna cast magic missile.
It's 50 feet up to that level.
Yeah, he can fly 35 in bonus action. Phase step teleport.
Okay. There you go.
Yeah, no, he's there.
Okay, go for it.
Yeah.
Magic missile.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Well, there's.
Oh no, wait, it should be more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's 3, right? For level 1. You can upcast it if you want.
Yeah, I was trying. I will just Roll 20 is being a little weird for me. He's just gonna cast it at 5th level, so let me roll an additional
7 total then? 7 total?
yeah, so I'll just roll an additional 6. Because that 3 already counted as 1.
Yeah. Roll 64. Plus 6. There you go. 19, 20,
That's
21, 22 total. Alright, you pummel it with magic missile. 22 force damage.
Holy hell, you cast it at 6th level.
I guess it
Fourth
okay.
level. Okay. Wow.
Yeah, they magic missiles pummel the animated table and leave little blackened scorch marks on the stone.
I would also like to use one of my hit dice
Okay.
to roll that. It's a D8, so let me roll that. If it's even, I gain another temporary hit points. So I get 2.
Okay. Anything else, Lep?
No, that's it.
Are you kind of like in the shaft, or did you go on the landing?
Oh, he went on the landing.
The you see the eyes of the animated figure begin to sort of glow reddish. Make a wisdom save.
Ooh, okay. I'm good at those, I think.
You have no like additions or anything at the moment. No pluses.
No, it's just that.
All right. You feel yourself begin to slow, and your speed is halved. You cannot use reactions, and you cannot make more than 1 attack on your turn. You can only take an action or a bonus action, not both, and it lasts for 10 rounds. You can repeat the saving throw at the end of your turns.
Alright.
Lilith.
Okay, Lilith is going to go 60 feet up by dashing, and then Misty Step another 30 feet up.
So you're 80.
Yeah.
Okay. 20 feet just below the rest.
And then Fangs will go ahead and attack Glaive. That's a crit. 15 piercing.
Okay. 17 for strength save. Fangs dashes at Glaive and chomps down on their metal arm. Okay. Anything else? All right. All right. Glaive pulls a double-bladed weapon from a sheath on their back, and the spikes kind of extend out on either side. and she begins to kind of whirl in a frenzy. They turn. Well, I guess they're going to take an opportunity attack from you, Mercy, and step forward towards Jin. Glaive says, "We know what you did, Overseer. We've all seen it. Your sins live in the minds of every warforged that still wanders these lands, and you will be punished for them." And she swings her blade 4 times at you. 18, 18, 24, 25.
Miss, and miss.
Right.
Dodging,
Yep.
dodging each one.
You just deftly move out of every swing as Glaive is admonishing you. Her 2 companions move forward. Provoking... Well, you use your reaction, so these ones don't provoke opportunity. What was your... Oh, yeah, and you miss. Okay. Right. Make a dex save for me there, Jin.
Sure.
All right. One of these 2 companions of Glaive's, they toss out this little mechanical contraption, and it rolls underneath your feet and flies down the hole behind you. The other one will make 2 attacks against you with their arm blade. The first one is a natural 20, and the second one is a 25.
Silvery barbs.
Silvery barbs. Arm blade again. 27 to hit.
That misses.
Oh.
Oh my god.
I will give Mercy advantage.
When the one rolls
Right.
down the shaft, she's just going to yell, "Incoming!"
Yeah, a little mechanical contraption falls 100 feet down the shaft, and Mavathor, you see it when it hits, it explodes, and little cloud of noxious gas kind of spreads out in the bottom of the debris there, and then kind of dissipates. Sorry. Ugh. Okay, that's those 2. Mavathor.
Does the gas do anything to him, or?
No, it doesn't. It just kind of spreads in that little area, and then it kind of fades away. It doesn't make it all the way out to you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, him and his chain friend will make their way up the shaft here. Yeah, he'll use his action to dash, and his chain friend will climb up.
Chain devils have like a 40 move or something, don't they?
30.
Oh, okay, so they make it 60.
Hmm.
And you make it 60?
Yeah.
Jin, you're up again.
Yeah. There will come a time when I must pay for the things that I have done. But that time will not happen until Vecna has been defeated. So until then, I apologize. But I cannot die here. You will cast Shadowblade at level 4? 4. And proceed to make Glaive very unhappy. Do that. Level 4. Double checking. That is a 3d8. Okay. Booming Blade. Shadow Blade. 3d8. Chink.
Yeah, 28, 29.
Are we in dim light?
Yep. It is totally dark and throughout the whole entirety of Landro.
That's 10 thunder, 29 psychic, and
Right.
3d8 more if they move.
You just sort of dent. You leave a big dent with the Shadow Blade in Glaive's chest plate.
And once more, super advantage. 21, 23, 2, 22. That's the right
Anyone,
one.
just anyone will do.
Yeah. No booming blade, just the 18
Another
psychic.
18 psychic. Okay.
That is action and bonus action from me. I think I will go ahead and eat 2 AOOs to reposition here.
One Glaive and one of her companions.
Yep. They will move. We'll move here, so we can leave flanking opportunities.
22 from one of Glaive's 2 companions. And
Negatory.
Same for Glaive.
Negatory.
All right.
Mercy, your Aegis is doing work. Thank you very much for it.
My pleasure.
Mercy.
Will that advantage from him work for an attack on all 3?
If with a single attack you hit all 3 of them, then yeah, sure. Why not?
Sweet. Then that's what I'm gonna do.
Right. All
So
3.
22, 28, 26.
Yep, those are all good.
$23, 22, and 27.
Glaive is bloodied.
And I have another attack.
Both of her companions are also bloodied. The 15 will miss everyone. The other 2 are hits.
Okay. That's another 15 and 22.
Alright, anything else?
Can I use my bonus action for another attack?
Sure. Who are you sticking it on?
Glaive, absolutely.
She's kind of faced away from you a little bit, turned to one side, and you can see carved into the back of her metal plate on her neck, it says, Kill Switch.
Could I just aim for that?
Yeah, sure. You take your sword and drive it down and get her for 25 is a hit. Yep, for sure. 17?
That would only be 17, yeah.
Okay. She's gonna reduce the damage of that last one. The reaction. And Fangs.
Okay. Gonna keep going with our distraction method. keep pecking at the glaive. As a probably give Mercy advantage then, because Mercy's right there.
Oh, yeah. Maggie, sorry. Okay. Help action to give Mercy advantage. Lep.
Mhm.
Yeah, Lep is going to. I think this guy had a pretty good con, so oh god. I think he's just going to cast. I don't think they have a good dex. So he's going to cast Flame Strike on this guy. And he's going to make a DC 18 dex save.
Alright. 19, natural 20.
Oh, well, it was DC. Yeah, that. Okay. So it takes half. So half of 22 fire and 12 radiant. So
Flame Strike is an AoE ability.
he aims it.
Scar area.
Yeah, you can put it on the other
Okay.
side of him, right?
Yeah. He tries to not hit himself.
Yeah, roll the damage.
It's 22 fire, 12 radiant, so half of that.
22 fire, 12 radiant. Okay.
Yeah.
11 and 6.
And yep.
Okay.
And that's all he can do.
Right. The animated table will take a step toward you. Well, actually, they stay where they are, and with their long arm, they will try and punch you twice. 29 and a 22 to hit.
Yeah, those both hit.
Its first big swing as it draws its arm back along its side and punches it out, hits you for 26 bludgeoning damage, and its second strike hits you for 22 bludgeoning damage as it's like rock'em sock'em roboting you now in the little windpipe there. Lilith.
Alright, she's gonna boop out here. And she's going to attack the little guy in front of her with her glaive. Oof. Okay, that's a 29 to hit.
29 is good.
Okay, that's 15 slashing, and then we'll smack on a first level Divine Smite. So that's 7
Alright.
radiant.
It ducks under your first swing, and you kind of are getting used to this weapon, and then you twist and bring the other side of the blade around, and you just cut straight through, and the sharpness of the glaive just kind of tears through the metal and the sort of the metal and wood that holds this construct together, and as you discharge radiant energy through it, it sort of collapses in a heap.
Haha. Alright, and then Fangs is gonna go over to this guy then and bite. Gonna assume 12 doesn't hit.
Things is a good dog.
Fangs is a good girl.
12 will miss.
Yeah, figured. That's okay.
Glaive looks down at one of her fallen companions, and she turns and looks at the other one and says, "We serve the Lord of Blades in life and death, don't forget." And she's going to use bonus action to dash without provoking opportunity attacks, and in her
And she do that 'cause
overdrive.
my sword says they can't avoid opportunity attacks.
From you, then they won't avoid it, but from everyone else they will. And then Glaive darts between Go ahead and make your opportunity attack. Seven, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. As she darts towards the ledge, she turns and looks over her shoulder, and she says, "There's no place that you can hide on Eberron, Overseer. The Lord of Blades will find you. He's going to make you pay." And Glaive jumps off of the edge, and you see her whip out this little, like 3-foot long, kind of slender object, and she flicks it out, and 2 little like wings flap out from the sides, and you see her glide away into the mist.
And crash right into the barrier that we couldn't get through.
Well, the mouth is open here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like a bird on a window.
Well, actually, let me read. Let me read real quick that part of the. It might specify actually. So let me double check and see if she hits it or not.
I just want to see her go splat.
Me too.
Back at the top, probably. Invisible barrier. Okay. Around the intact. Okay, yes, the mouth is open. So she passes through and disappears into the mist.
I just blown us up through the mouth.
So
When you
were flying around, that's probably my bad when you were checking.
No, it's. We took the scenic route on purpose. It's character building.
But she's about, let's see, 5, 10, 15. So she's about 45 feet away. You can see her probably still just barely outlined in the mist, 45 feet away. Her companion that is not dead is going to look down at everyone and it grabs Fangs around his body. Make an attack roll for it. What's Fang's AC?
14, I believe. Yeah, 14.
Okay, this one grabs Fangs and lifts it up to his chest, and you hear them say in a sort of a monotone Warforged voice, "In life and death," and it jumps from the mouth of Landro.
Are you taking?
Oh my god.
You just killed a puppy?
Oh.
The Warforged lands on top of Fangs, killing himself, and Fangs takes 71 bludgeoning damage. Probably breaks a hip.
Featherfall?
Fangs, right?
Is Featherfall a reaction?
It is.
What happens? Well, I guess if you cast it on, yeah, you can take a reaction and cast Featherfall. You cast it on Fangs, or you cast it on the Warforged.
Fangs.
Okay.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate that.
So the creature Fangs is being held by something that is not Featherfall. So I guess the question is, would gravity apply still? If the creature lands before the spell ends, it takes no falling damage and can land on its feet. Okay. Even though the force of the Warforged is pushing Fangs down, just before it hits the ground, the magical force of Featherfall, like a magnet, kind of stops the impact, and Fangs' paws kind of hit the ground, and Fangs will take half the damage from just the weight of the Warforged falling on top of Fangs, but the other guy will still take the full 71.
Okay.
It's just rude.
My fucking dog.
Oh.
Some of the Warforged for the Lord of Blades are merciless. Mavathor.
Yeah, I'll enter this room and assumably still see a Glaive flying down.
Yep, you can spot Glaive still, even in the mist with your dark vision. You can see their outline 45 feet away, gliding away on the mists.
Yeah, he'll take aim and shoot a fireball.
Ooh. Yeah, you will. Alright. Dex save. DC 20. They roll a 20, so they'll take half.
Take half, yeah.
Give me that damage.
And also the gliders, I assume, ignites.
That's a good point. Let's see. The half of 25 is not enough to kill Glaive, but it does burn the wings of the glider, and the glider fails. Glaive is still at about your guys' height, takes the maximum falling damage, and breaks on the rocks below Landro along the side of the mountain.
Yes.
A nice shot.
Huzzah!
Very nice shot.
Anything else, Mavathor?
Well,
yeah, he'll kind of just touch the rod piece to see if it's giving an indication like where the next piece is.
Very
if it's,
close, just above you.
Okay. Is there a passageway up there?
Yeah, the shaft continues up another 30 feet or so, I think.
All right. He'll get back in and make his way up.
Okay. You come out. Let me... fucking-
And I suppose this chain devil will follow him.
Okay. You make it to the top of Landro. You ascend the rest of the shaft to the top of this war machine, and you see dripping pipes and rusty chains hanging from this 15-foot high ceiling in this chamber. Deep red light courses sort of rhythmically through the pipes, and it all sort of converges on this large object atop a circular dais. This object, it resembles an oversized brain that is made of iron gray ceramic, and its surface is sort of molded with these countless grooves that form a mesmerizing patterns as this red light pulses through it. And you see a crack along the ceramic's brain's frontal lobe that leaks this thin gray liquid pooling around the dais and dripping through the rest of Landro. And floating above the brain, sort of scattering light across the room, is a small, slender object. A piece of the Rod of Seven Parts.
Ooh.
Alright, he'll spread his wings and reach for the rod piece.
How much movement do you have?
30, but he really didn't use that much.
You, from where you were standing, you had enough to make it up to the next level.
Oh, okay. Then if that's the case, then he'll just command his devil to reach up for it with the chain and pull it down.
Okay, give me a wisdom saving throw for the Chain Devil.
All right. With +7, so 30.
One of the chains whips out and wraps around the rod, and there's this sort of wave of psychic energy that blasts out, but the Chain Devil yanks on the chain and pulls the rod free of its suspended place. When the piece is removed by your Chain Devil, there are, in the corners of the room, these metal walls drop. And, on all sides of you, ignore the big water elemental thing.
Okay.
Why? Let me see if I can move these things. And these constructs march out. These walls. They're blocked by shit on the map that I can't move, so I'm just moving these so I can actually click on the tokens. There we go. And they attack you.
Was that only one attack for my Chain Devil to grab the rod piece?
Yeah.
Alright, I'll use this rest of those attacks on these guys. And just spread them evenly, and I guess, yeah, the top left one will get 2.
Okay. Uh, 17. So the 21 hits.
And slashing, and it's grappled.
And what's the Chain Devil's AC?
It's 16.
All right. Chain Devil takes a total of 16 bludgeoning damage, and you raise your shield up, and it is pummeled by fists of these other guardians, and they all miss you.
Yeah, that'll be the end of his turn.
Jin.
Well, I was going to help the puppy, but now that I hear the sounds of an activated security protocol, let's go see what our companion has tripped.
Oh, shit.
What the heck was that?
How do I undo a command on Roll20?
Control Z.
There we go. Oh man, it's awkward. Hey, the Mournlands are weird, you know?
No, yeah.
This is all a dream. Sorry, go ahead, Jin.
Yeah. Race up the stairs. Race up the shaft. Holy crap.
You, as you race up and you see Mavathor and the Chain Devil being pummeled, the pool of gray matter fluid around the dais begins to sort of bubble and boil, and it begins to like twirl, and it forms the figure of a humanoid. It swirls into this metallic visage, and you hear a familiar voice. And you hear the voice of Agatha that says, Mr. Adar, it has been so long. How do you fare, my old friend?
Would not know my name. Everyone working in that facility had a similar mask to hide their identity.
Yeah, but if they put effort into trying to find it out without your knowledge...
Fair enough. About as well as one could expect, given the carelessness which I walked beside, shooting a glare at Mavathor.
I realize it's rude of me to call you by your given name, but I've learned in my new form that maladies and secrecy are no longer beneficial to me.
No, I suppose they would not be in your condition.
What has brought you back to this horrible place?
Eberron is under threat from a entity known as Vecna, who seeks to some design on the realms as a whole, and he seeks part of an object here that I believe we have used to power your engine.
Well, I have not heard of this Vecna, but it would be a great pleasure to work together again. Why don't you take me with you in combating this enemy of yours? My talents languish here in the Mournlands. I yearn to be free of this place.
Like, Arcana, like, you get a sense of, like, what is the form that she's taken?
Yeah, you can make an Arcana check.
Sure. And I suppose an insight check. I'm cursed, man! I'd like to roll higher than a 2, please.
As far as you can tell, this entity seems to be speaking to you as if she's in a familiar tone. She seems to know your name, and you know that few, if any, do. Even though in your mind she would have no reason to know, these peers on your level have ways of finding things out. She has the mannerisms of this person you once knew that you worked on these projects with, and as far as you can surmise from her current form, somehow she must have bound her consciousness to the gray matter engine or the fluid or something. She's her consciousness is sort of now living in this engine. Likely the only thing still keeping her tethered to mortal realm.
I will confess that what had been my intention to destroy your creation, left it fall into unworthy hands.
Well, you know, Landro never got to see proper battle. But one failure is just closing a door so you can open a new one in search of greater successes. Think of what we could accomplish together.
Arcana, she's absolutely bound to this engine, correct? If I destroy this engine, he's gone.
Probably.
Which means if somebody else destroys the engine, she's gone.
Yeah.
I would not be adverse to having your minds at my side again, Agatha. However, I do not have the means to protect the engine which sustains you once we leave this plane.
There's an object hidden within Landro that would allow you to transfer my consciousness into it and bring me with you on your travels. Leave me from this curse, and I will assist you against your enemies in any way I can. Our work must go on.
Our method will have to change, though. You do understand that?
That is the nature of life. Change is inevitable. I have never been opposed to it.
Very well. Where is this item? I will transfer you to it, or I will assist in the transfer.
Currently, it is tumbled into the right leg of Landro. It is a small crystal that will allow my consciousness to flow into it, and you can take me with you.
I will send quotient to retrieve it.
She says, "Glad you still hold on to your good sense." And she commands the sentinels to cease their attack.
Ken holds up a finger. Before you do that, Mavathar, we could have a short discussion on how security architecture works. First and foremost is when you are trying to keep a item of value to your enemy, it does not do to have it stored on a single person. If you will, hand me a rod piece. I will hide it in such a way that will make it difficult for most to retrieve.
Can we do that once we finish up whatever it is we need to do here?
I'm afraid I'd rather have this discussion while sitting from a position of advantage, if you will.
He motions to his chain devil and says, "Well, it is on another individual currently."
Yes. However, best it rest in a separate power.
All right, I see you won't budge on this. Yeah. Nods for his chain devil to hand over the rod piece.
And I let out a sigh of relief, and with a gesture, Quotient takes the piece and disappears.
Which piece did you give to Quotient? The first or the one you just found?
The first.
Okay. After Quotient returns with the crystal that Agatha spoke of, retrieved from the leg, Quotient drops it into your hand, Jin, and you give it the rod, and Quotient disappears.
A challenge to your wit, Lord Avernus. Find a method to take the rod piece from me. Without killing me, of course. And I will return it to you.
So any means short of killing you?
Do me no harm, and I would prefer you warn me before testing something, but yes.
You want me to do it now, or?
Well, the animated... Agatha's deactivated all defensive measures in Landro for a moment, so you notice the animated table go still, Lep. The symbols have stopped attacking. You feel the slow drop off of you, Lepus.
So, what's the object that Quotient returns with the crystal?
It is called an eyed crystal. It is
Eyed crystal.
It is just a vessel that Agatha, like you, went to great lengths to consider all measures, and it's probably likely that she figured if she had to one day find a way to bind herself to the gray matter engine if she needed to, if she needed to get her consciousness into some other device because she was, heading up a division of Syrian war. She knew that threats to her were many, and just like you, she has her own little tricks and treats, and the crystal is something that Agatha devised if she so needed to transfer her gray matter fluid consciousness into an object that could be transported elsewhere and uploaded into something different.
I got it. If you are ready, Agatha, I will transfer you to.
Yeah, she reaches out. She reaches out her liquid hand, and she touches the crystal, and some of the gray matter fluid kind of flows into it. And she says, "I will repay this kindness, Jin, and we will continue to forge some of the greatest technology that any world has ever seen."
I look forward to our conversations, old friend. And then he turns around and, with her permission, he will go ahead and disintegrate the gray matter engine.
Yeah, sure. You disintegrate the gray matter engine. You cast disintegrate on it?
I literally cast disintegrate on it.
Okay. When you cast disintegrate on the gray matter engine, you hear a magical, soothing voice that announces throughout Landro, 1 minute till self-destruct. The anti-gravity field of magic, including the wells, dispel entirely. The invisible barrier around the rest of Landro disappears, and we will keep the initiative order. What do you all do? Jin?
I believe the technical term is BS with a quickness.
GTFO.
I also believe that we are perhaps at a high enough altitude as to be unaffected by the mists of the Mournlands, correct?
Unaffected by the mists?
In so much that I can give a mental command to Thago to bring the ship to our position.
Yeah, you can give a mental command. I don't think that it was affecting message. You guys were able to send message to each other.
Oh, okay.
It was just teleporting.
Oops.
Also, isn't the ship on the other side of the Mournlands?
Well, they
Okay,
can start.
maybe not.
They could start flying it this way.
Thago can fly.
Thago can fly.
It's on the other side, but they can start making their way towards you.
Yeah, is that a prudent thing to do, however? I'm not sure. Anyway, D asked with a quick note. Yeah, we'll go ahead and send a message to Thago, evac now. This is our position.
Okay.
And then yeet.
Yeah. It's 10 rounds the Landro is going to self-destruct. So you guys, I imagine, get down to the maw of Landro and just take off from the precipice there. Yeah.
Yep.
You guys fly off of the edge and get as far away as you can. And after 60 seconds, I guess if you guys are dashing, you're about 1,000 feet away, and you see just like a plumage, an explosion of flame, like a small, village evaporating missile explodes. There's just this flash, and you can feel the heat even at the distance as Leandra self-destructs, leaving a giant crater in the side of the mountain. Even at as far away as you are, like bits of rock and debris start to like fall around past you guys as you're flying away from it.
That should cover Earthgate, I imagine.
Somebody probably swooped down for fangs.
Yep.
I have
I will
vortex.
carry her, and I will also cast a 3rd level mend on her.
All right.
Aw.
How long, like, at any point does anyone's flying, like, end? Like, how long can you guys fly for? I know everyone... I guess I'm just not sure about Mercy. How long... It's just as long as you're transformed, right?
Yes.
Okay. You guys fly, and you know that Thago is bringing the ship in your direction. And eventually you can hear the hum of Mercy's ship. And the two parties meet, and the rear door of your ship Mercy opens, and you all are able to embark on your vessel. And you're all hovering there in around the central portion of the Iron Rot Mountains in the Mournlands. Escaped with the 3rd piece of the Rod of 7 Parts.
And I am getting us the fuck out of here as fast as we can.
We're not going to look for Mordenkainen?
You have no
At
idea.
this point, Tasha can do it herself.
You have no
What about
idea if the real Mordenkainen was ever even really here.
Fair.
Make an insight check, Mavathor.
Okay.
Also, are we just gonna leave Jalen?
JLo is
No.
taking the Flame Keep,
Ooh,
which
net 20.
is somewhere else.
You express this. When this is expressed, if we're gonna search for Mordenkainen, you are really sitting there and thinking about it now. And Illustrial and Tasha told you that the 3 of them tried to create this sort of altered wish spell, and something about it failed. And
Oh,
And,
that's nasty.
and by legends recount, Mordenkainen is one of the greatest wizards to ever live, and it seemed to have damaged him in the casting. And what you realize, Mavathor, is that Mordenkainen never participated in that spell. It was cast the whole time.
Gotcha.
So
Sneaky
that's
bitch.
incredible.
Cast the betrayer from the world of Oreth.
That is nasty.
Who has been
That
fighting
is
Vecna
nasty.
for all this time already.
Yeah.
We have...
How much time do
Holy
we
crap.
have before the girls get back anyway? Shouldn't it be about time?
Well, let's resolve a few things. You guys are in the ship safely now. You can leave the Mournlands if you'd like. But before that, Mavathor, the piece of your rod is pointing you to a familiar place, back to Faerun. To a little pocket dimension known by some in Shadowfell, known as Barovia.
Oh, clutch the rod piece and look to Lilith and say, you might have to go home.
Why?
The rod piece told me the next one is in Barovia.
Okay. I really want to do this. Okay.
Mavathor, with the third piece of the broken rod that you have here, you can use an action to cast Reverse Gravity, spell save DC 18 once per day.
Nice.
Ooh.
And
That'll be fun.
I guess, yeah, you guys can, in the safety of your ship, I guess, just interact freely.
No, we have piece number 3.
Piece number 3.
Oh, okay.
You have 3 and 1 now.
Yeah.
Lep,
Yes.
you feel the power of the dragon shard's magic still just like coursing through you. All of your like divine magic in your spell slots of level 1 and 2 sort of faded from your mind. And they are being replaced by arcane magic spells. You can choose for all your first and second level spells from the sorcerer's spell slot table, as well as 2 meta magics.
Ooh. Oh. All right.
That is pricey.
And make an insight check.
Okay. I'll see. Not the best at those.
I think that the flow of the power of the dragon shards in your body right now, this rapid metamorphosis that's taking place, you don't think it's going to stop. And perhaps within the next 24 hours, the innate magic of these dragon shards that have absorbed into your DNA, essentially, are sort of bonding to who you are as Lepus, this creature, Eladrin from the Feywild. You know by the end of this transformation that you will be fully a wild magic sorcerer.
Cool.
Wild magic.
Mm-hmm.
Real love, wild magic.
I had a wild magic sorcerer in my game, and I made a custom wild magic table.
Yeah, we could do a custom
so
wild
much
magic
fun.
table.
That'd be so
Yeah.
The book one kind of sucks.
Can we
Yeah.
get him a special rod of wonder?
Special Rod of
what?
Wonder.
What's
Yeah.
that?
Well, I guess it's wand of wonder in 5e. It's the class specific item for a wild mage.
What does it do?
A lot of things.
Tasha probably has one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll ask my sister.
Okay, so that's the location of the next piece of the rod, the next lower piece. Um, and Lepis, you realize that this transformation is not going to end unless you find a way to cut it off. And within the next 24 hours, the power of the Dragon Shards is just going to fully bond with you and change your abilities indefinitely. I guess you guys probably try to leave the Mournlands, right?
Oh yes,
Yes, please.
GTFO.
We're
Yes.
out of there.
Well, you guys can
Good riddance.
you guys can interact after leaving Landro as you fly out of the Mournlands. And once you're out, we can resolve one final thing. I'll let you guys take it away.
Right away, you just hear Lilith go, "Mercy, where do you keep the drinks?"
There's a great sigh of relief as a good fraction of the tension that has been wrought within Jin's frame is just gone from him.
It just all goes to Lilith. You just transferred
Don't
it all
worry.
to her.
I have
Passing
plenty
the
of
stress
drink.
ball.
Just tell me how strong.
How do you spell the name Agatha said earlier?
What name did she say?
She said Jin's real name,
Yeah.
so
She referred to Jin as Adar, Adar.
What?
Mr. Adar, to be specific.
Professor, doctor.
I was gonna say doctor,
Overseer.
but I wasn't sure. She would have said doctor. We can do a little twist on the
MD?
retcon there.
Professor.
Sure.
Professor Adar, Dr. Adar.
I guess Overseer would be his actual title, so she'd
Overseer
refer
is
to
what
him
the
as Overseer.
Warforged call you. It's the name that they've come together collectively with their consciousnesses, and it is what all the Warforged refer to you as now on everyone.
I have one thing that probably needs to be done while you're here, Ryan.
Sure.
I would like Jin to help me send a massively encoded message.
That is the thing I can do.
Yeah, and I want to send it to House Thrask.
Okay.
Winces. That can be arranged.
Hence the encoding.
Yeah, what is the message? You can say, like, the actual message that you want, and the encoding part will happen with magic.
You said it was Mogrim that the guy told us it was?
Yes.
Okay. I will address it to Mogrim Thrash from Mercy Hellrose. Registration code 09212021. I have found your warrant. And
Was it a warrant or was it just a picture?
It was a picture. It was
Okay.
hard to discern its purpose besides just making sure you have the right person.
Request reasoning for my capture. Put it out there. I will find it. And then you.
Sending spell to Mayor Grimm, Tornbit Harass. Protocol 7, Alpha Sierra Alpha, Omega 9, query. Delta Green, query. Yellow Niner 7. Query. Possible conflict. Query.
Right, the encoded message, once you guys leave the Mists of the Mournlands, is sent to one of the 3 triumvirate that rule the house.
And I don't think you answered me. How much time do we have till Tasha and Illustrial return?
We've only been here like two or 3 days, right?
They
Yeah.
said they'd be back in like 3 days, didn't they?
They said they
A
would
week.
try and be back in 5 days, I think. 5 to, or maybe they said a 10-day, which would be 10 days.
Try to send a sending spell to them.
I can do that now that we're not in the Mournland. I was working under the assumption that sending spell would have failed because it crossed planar boundaries.
Click sending.
Yes, sir.
Across any distance, even to other planes of existence. There's a 5% chance that the message doesn't arrive, so roll a d100. Okay, so it would reach them.
Pete Scott, I apologize. I was working on an erroneous assumption.
That's okay. So yeah, you could attempt a sending to them as well.
Yeah, he'd do that. With a he'll encrypt it too, just in case. But it'll be a based on an encoding system that he knows that Tasha uses. From reading her library books and sort of arcane writings. So the message is such: rod pieces obtained, or rod piece obtained. Windfall killed. Path.
Oh yeah, I guess
More.
Navathor would have shared that insight of that Cass was Morden Kanan the whole time. That's why their spell failed.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Cass was Mordenkainen from Point of Wish spell. Or like Mavathar likely not Mavathar. Sorry, Pizza Cat. Cass was likely Mordenkainen from Point of Wish spell. Knows where you are, or knows where you're going. We're done here. We'll meet soon. And he scrambles that. Vector 7, Sigma 5, cosine, integral over theta, and a string of nonsense numbers.
Doesn't take you long to receive
With
a response from Tasha.
With a little bit of a abyssal script, because Tasha works like that.
Oh.
A short time later, you receive a response from Tasha, and it says, "Breath is a hellscape. Illustrial is gone. I will see you in Faerun."
Sorry, what the hellscape? Oreth.
Orth, the world they went to.
Oh, is gone.
Vecna's homeworld. No, is a hellscape. She says, Orth is a hellscape.
Oh, okay.
Illustrial is gone. I will meet you in Faerun.
Okay. Illustrial is gone. Meet in Faerun.
Oh.
Got it. He says that aloud.
Guess we should.
He says that. Yeah, he says it aloud.
He's,
Sorry, let me rephrase that. He casts Rary's Bond, and then says it telepathically.
Gotcha. Azor says, should probably go there right away. We shouldn't keep Tasha waiting.
3
Agreed.
steps forward, 2 back.
Yeah.
You plot a course for Faerun, despite loose threads dangling over the world of Eberron. You know you have reason to return again, but for the time being, there are more important matters. Matters where we'll end the session this week.
So good.
Oh,
Will you get back to me with the response on that?
Yes. I assume Megrim. If Megrim responds, Brian, you'll tell me.
If he responds,
Yeah.
It's a pretty big if.
you don't
better.
you don't receive one quite as quickly as you did from Tasha. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But it can travel across all distance, so I'll have to think about it a little bit.
How long is the journey going to take between Eberron back to Faerun? It was 5 days, correct?
It'll take about 5 days, unless you guys can catch an astral current. But
or plane shift can take us there now, depending on how much downtime you want.
well, I mean, yeah, if you can plane shift. That part's not. I don't need a 5-day session to between now and getting back to Faerun. So before
yeah, that's just that's all the RPs.
yeah. Where do you plane shift
So-
to in Faerun?
Unless someone has any.
Mavathor would really like to return to Baldur's Gate for a number of reasons.
I
Good a
think
place as any.
to that.
Okay. Give me a sec.
I mean, we can also take 5 days of downtime. I'm not adverse to that.
Well, you
but,
guys can have like downtime can pass between now and next session. Like that's
Yeah.
okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll guys let you have some downtime back in Faerun. That should be fine. But-
Yeah, we gotta go back to Avernus too to turn in those dragon pieces also.
Yeah.
We can go. Have a. I can make a fork for Avernus.
Side
we can
quests
go there.
ahoy.
There is a lot of crafting that is on Jin's list of things to do. So, like, the trip to Hellforge would not be out of the way.
Yeah, Mercy has a few things too.
So do you guys you plane shift to the Forge or do you plane shift to Baldur's Gate?
I don't have a direct line to Avernus, so that would be a gate effect from Mathor.
Okay. When you plane shift to Faerun, do you just instantly gate to Avernus?
No, he wanted to go visit Corelli's mother.
Okay. Then we can resolve a few other little tidbits here. Then we'll open up new threads. You guys plane shift back to Faerun and arrive in Baldur's Gate in the evening. The city, after the events of, a bit of time has passed, and the city, after the events of El Turel and the culmination of the Blood Wars, is turned a new leaf. Older Ravengard has rooted out a lot of the other corruption from the dukes that were seated in power, and there are currently 2 other vacancies. One of the vacancies has already been filled by election, by why is his name slipping my tongue?
This one?
Thurstwell Van Thamper. He's now one of the 4 Grand Dukes of Baldur's Gate.
Aw.
Aside Old
Aw.
Ravengard.
Wow.
Mavathor, you in the evening, it is a clear starry night in the city. You make your way out to Southfoot. And although most of the wreckage has been cleaned up, you can tell that somebody burned Krayley's mother's home to the ground. Likely Windfall.
Yeah.
Make an investigation check for me.
Okay. $13?
You're kind of kicking around some of the debris still left behind, and you kind of push a charred board with your foot, and some ash gets kind of disheveled, and you find like a letter in an envelope that's been fairly scorched. And there's something like it's like an object inside of it. You pick it up and open it, and it is the golden feather that Zariel gave to Krayley. You guys returned with El Terrell back to the material plane. It's hard to read most of the letter, but the gist you get from the part that's not been burned away is that Krayley has traveled to the Feywild with his mother and his mother's sister, his aunt. And it seems as though he escaped the clutches of Windfall's revenge. And that's it. You have the feather.
Cool.
You know that they're safe. Was there anything that you wanted to do there?
No, he'll just tuck the feather away before turns and goes back to Baldur's Gate.
Lilith, I imagine you're imbibing in the intoxication of this large free city, maybe, as you return, and you're in one of the inns, sipping some wine, and sort of out of nowhere, you notice a figure suddenly sitting beside you, and they've got this dark hood pulled over their head, and they turn their head to one side, and you see, like, perched with his finger and thumb on his face, the face of Escher. And he says, good evening. You are in a lot of trouble. Your father wishes you...
She slowly, stands up and, tries to make her way to the door.
Oh, don't worry. I wish you no harm this evening. However, I cannot say the same about your father. He has been thinking up a variety of punishments he could inflict upon you. And I think that he's decided on a devious one. Anyways, I have an invitation to an event that will be held in your honor quite soon. He slides a little dark envelope across the table, stamped with a wax seal of Strahd's sigil.
She doesn't even look at it.
He sort of stands up and slides away off of his stool and he winks at you and he says, "I'll be seeing you soon." And he kind of takes a few steps back and just kind of fades into a little cloud of mist that disperses in the inn, and everyone's kind of gaping at you and in kind of a stunned silence.
I think she very shakily grabs the letter and without saying a word, she just leaves to go find everyone. She doesn't even look at the letter, she just leaves.
Sure. And yeah, that's what we'll run the session this week. Unless anyone has any last little things they want to do in Baldur's Gate.
It was decided that Lilith and Lep, and especially Lilith, are not going to be left alone ever.
Lep, where do you go after you guys arrive back in BG?
Lep would have gone to. I'm forgetting his name, but the grave site where there's 2 people buried, 3 people. Dolus's grave and the grave of our past adventurer, and then, that grave site.
Yeah.
He was gonna bury Sylvie's pamphlet there.
Oh.
Since he doesn't know if he's gonna be able to bury it back in the Feywild.
Okay.
He was gonna do that.
Well, as you make your way up there, the culmination of your metamorphosis is sort of coming to its end, and this magic of all the dragon shards from the pool is kind of settled into you fully, almost. When Twig banished you from the Feywild, he banished a version of you that is much different now. Your abhorrent dragon mark and the new shifting powers of your wild magic. Something about this change has broken the stated bonds of your banishment. And as you're sort of standing in this liminal space between land and sea, you can kind of see into the Feywild.
Okay.
And you realize that the gates that barred you from your homeland are once again open to you.
This is good news.
So you can leave Sylvie's remains here if you'd like, or with this new knowledge, you can change your mind.
With this new knowledge, yeah, he's gonna keep it on him and wait for when they're back in his home.
What do you? What is the current location of your ring?
It's on his hand.
Feel
His left hand.
Feel the like laying in a field of tall grass. You feel this warm sensation around your finger, like the gentle fingertips of Phalaxis grazing your skin, band of your ring. Letting you know that
That's good. That's good. That's really good.
And closer than he just feels a lot closer to you than you were thinking he might ever be again. Jin and Mercy, when you guys return to this alien world, Jin, you've spent a little more time here. Do you do anything when you guys were back in Faerun?
Normally I'd unfortunately Neverwinter is quite a ways away from Baldur's Gate. Depending on how fast Mercy's ship is, I think he'd ask for a detour to Neverwinter just to stop by the apartments or the little house that he and Blitz stayed in while they were waiting for.
Yeah, I mean it'd
Mercy
take
to
her
arrive.
Take her an hour or two at most, probably to fly you over there.
To just gather the possessions of that Blitz had little time to gather before transit elsewhere, since he knows that we're going back to Avernus.
And Mercy, you have spent less time here in Faerun, but is there anything you would do before we end the evening back in Faerun?
There's a couple things she wants to make, but I think those are going to need to be in Avernus. Okay.
Yeah, we'll do this. Anything that you guys want to do in the forges, just so we can have, we don't have to sort of spend game time like RPing magical item alteration or creation. You guys can post in the Discord or message me about kind of magical alterations you guys want to make in the forges, if you want, and we can kind of resolve that before next week, so we don't have to spend game time doing it. Even though sometimes I do like RPing that stuff, it'd be kind of more fun to get into Barovia right away.
Yeah.
Maybe not right away, but at least by the end of the next session. So yeah, you guys can say send any magical alterations. I imagine you're going to make that dagger.
Also, with your permission, can I install the Ion Stone as its pommel?
Sure.
So I can remove that attunement from my... That would be fantastic.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Yep. So any magical item creations or alterations you'd like to make, hit me up in the DMs. And, yeah.
So real quick, though, what does the letter say?
It says, dearest daughter, you have been insolent your entire life, and the legacy of our family needs to move forward. I hope that you're enjoying your dalliances in the material plane, but soon you must return to Barovia, because I have implored many dread lords across the span of the Shadowfell to come to Castle Ravenloft in order to bid on your hand in marriage. A ball will be held in your honor, sweet daughter, and soon you will no longer be my burden to bear. Signed, Baron Strahd von Zarevich, Lord of Barovia.
I didn't know I was a burden. Feels like more the other way around.
I literally just had an idea. Message me after we're done.
All right, and
I think
that's
we
where
all
we'll
know
end
who's
the
gonna
session
show
this week.
Oh, good. Thank you for running, Ryan.
Thank you. This was a
Very
lot
good.
of fun.
All right,
Yeah,
guys, take it easy.
that's great.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
One thread of adventure ends, and many more begin.
And
Mhm.
Nick
I
is
think
gone.
I'll just say, you know, I was gonna do it after next week, but I think the next couple sessions could just be majority RP. So why don't you guys go ahead and level up to 15?
Hell
Oh, awesome.
Yes, let's go.
Ooh.
And with that, I will bid you all good evening.
Yes.
Take it easy, guys.
Yep.
See you next time.
yeah. See
Good
ya.
afternoon.
Yeah.